Hello and welcome to the space between I. Wait, all right, so it looks like the audio is working. Where are we? Hello, Gordon. Gord. So the dog, he's gonna chill out for a little bit, maybe have a little nap. Well, here we are today. It's day 31 of the challenge. Um, I got in big trouble from my study buddy yesterday. The study buddy. What did the study buddy say? Let's go to the WhatsApp messages. So she says, "You made a mistake for the first question." Then she said, "Because the answer of ChatGPT is wrong. The fifth is wrong too. You didn't check the answers. Do you read the textbook? You are underperforming." I responded, "True. Thank you for pointing that out." It's like, I guess it's because I took a lot of stabs at her. She was like, I was always correcting her, the stuff she was sending me. And I don't know. I was actually worried that she was gonna quit the challenge. Remember? But somehow she stayed with it. I've recently convinced her to get like some tutors. She's got two French tutors now. And once you have a French tutor, it means like, you're on course. Like everything's good now. She's got a textbook, she's got tutors, she's got a challenge, she's got everything she needs. She's got at least another 5 months before she leaves to go to Canada to do MBA. So we got at least 5 months. I mean, the challenge is 2 more months. So we got all of April and all of May. I wonder what's going to happen in June, because in June she will have like gotten through the whole book, the A1 book. It means I will be able to tell people that I have an A1 level of French. I'll probably be able to start telling people I have an A2 level of French by June, which is really crazy. Uh, I don't know what I was thinking when I started studying this language. I didn't ever really think I would learn it. I was just, because with Russian, no, it's not about Russian. I just had such a bad attitude a year ago. If you go back to the videos from a year ago, I was always like, I hate French, I hate French, I hate French. And now I'm like, hey, I'm reading every day. Everything's good. So let's jump into her. Here's her answers. Today, she decided to use the digital version rather than writing it out by hand. And it's late at night here. I'm really exhausted. It was a long week, and I started a new habit. It's kind of a crazy habit. So um, I kind of want to get up to date with what's going on with Canada. So I decided to try out a new goal. It's like a new challenge, but I think it's more than a challenge. It's like a lifestyle. So every night I take Gordon out for a walk, and usually I jog. Sometimes I jog a little faster, sometimes I jog a little slower, and sometimes I walk. And sometimes I sweat, and sometimes I don't. Soon the temperature's going to be warm enough that I'm going to be sweating more often. Tonight, I do not know. I don't think I'm going to be able to run, mostly because yesterday or maybe the day before yesterday, I played soccer with the kids. Sometimes what I do is like I bribe these kids. I'll be in the soccer field. We got like an AstroTurf little soccer field. And I don't know, like to get the kids to start playing games, I would be like, "Hey, let's have a challenge. Like let's put down some money." So basically what I would do is like I'd have like one or two lari. The money here is called lari. And like 3 lari is equivalent to $1 in Canada. So this is like 30 cents basically for 1 lari. So usually it would be like 1 or 2 lari, sometimes even 3 lari. If there's like a lot of kids, like if there were at least 4 kids on each team, I would say 3 lari, but usually 2 lari. And yeah, I would say whichever team wins, you can get the two lari. So like even if there's two kids on my team and then there's like four kids on the other team, then whichever team wins, I give them two lari. So I'm just trying to get them to play organized competitive games, which would involve me. So apparently I'm not very good at soccer because I have to play with like I don't even know these kids are like I don't know about ages for kids. Probably around 10, 12, between 10 and 12 maybe. Anyways, like a day or two ago, there were like two kids and I was practicing shooting. The guy was practicing like as a goalie. And then suddenly his friend came and he's like, "One lorry, what? No, he was like, two lorry, give me two lorry." And I was like, two lorry. I didn't have two lorry, I only had one lorry. But anyways, I said, "Look, I only have one lorry in my change purse." Change purse? I don't know what to call it. Anyways, so we played 2-on-1. 2-on-1. I don't know, they were probably like 10 years old. And I mean, they were good enough and fast enough that I couldn't like completely dominate them. So I'm talking about 10-year-old kids. Like sometimes I could hustle fast enough to get to the ball before them. I could run faster. But then there's two of them, so they can pass it back and forth. And then like you gotta maintain speed, right? You gotta maintain like when I'm 45 years old. So uh anyways, I actually won, but they didn't want to like admit that I won. So they're like, "No, it's 4-3. That no, that goal doesn't count." Well, the goal obviously counts. No, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. Okay. So eventually they scored, and I had to pay up. But yeah, so I'm pretty exhausted overall. It's been a long week, and as you know, we've been doing the challenge. So anyway, so this new thing, this new lifestyle thing I'm doing these days is I've been reading the news, and I want to practice writing more. Um, I have a very different background than other people. Growing up, I grew up in a conservative household and I delivered the newspaper, but I never actually read it. But my dad, he like every morning he would sit down, breakfast, go through the stories, just read whatever. It's just a normal that was normal back then. Like your dad just read the newspaper. Well, apparently not everyone's dad read the newspaper because I delivered the newspapers. I know exactly which houses were reading newspapers and which houses were not reading newspapers, which is really interesting now that I think about it. I never really thought about it before. I know the houses which ordered newspapers and were interested in reading the newspaper every day. And also, there were some people who were Sunday only delivery. And then eventually, I was delivering both the Calgary Herald and the Calgary Sun. And then I could see the people who were ordering both newspapers and the people who were ordering just one of the two newspapers. And I had a bag, it was full of papers, and I had my rollerblades, and I would just run around the neighborhood every morning for 9 years in the summer and in the winter and in the spring and in the fall, in the rain, in the snow, every single day. It was just, it doesn't rain that much in Calgary. I just realized it doesn't rain that much. And yeah, so I moved to China. I learned Chinese and I didn't read the news. I was just studying Chinese and Chinese law. Then I went to Silicon Valley and I started the pursuit of learning about business. And then I went back to Canada for a bit. Then I went to Russia. I learned Russian and continued to teach business thinking, business methodologies. And then now I'm learning French. Oh, yeah, I learned learning French. And I figured, why not start reading again? Read Canadian news and also practice writing. I like writing. I've written. I enjoy the process of writing. Um, so I started this week every night when I get back from my jog with Gordy Gord, reading a news article and then trying to write something. Like, to what extent can I write? I've been writing Twitter posts, so that's like a miniature form of writing. And yeah, so we'll just carry on, the habit of writing and see where it leads us. Now, I'm concerned about these French questions here because it says répondez aux questions, 回答问题. Okay, quel est le premier jour de la semaine? What is the first day of the week? This is the advantage of speaking English and then learning French because it has like, what is the first day of the week? And then once you get used to the prepositions and the sentence structure, then at some point it's just gonna click. I just don't understand why she put lundi. All right, great point. So you're not wrong. Here's a quick breakdown. When it's okay to write just lundi, in lists, schedules, or when answering informally or brief, like in an exercise. An exercise. If the question doesn't grammatically require a full sentence. When referring to something that's happening regularly, like le lundi on Mondays, j'ai cours de français. If the question asks for a complete sentence and your answer is meant to be grammatically full, le premier jour de la semaine est le lundi. Can I add this to the file? Like an insert. Insert. I want to insert an image. No, you can't. All right, so I'm just going to correct this. Not correct it, but I'm just going to write. I'm going to paste it onto her file. Because why am I going to do this whole file again when she already has it typed out? So for this exercise, since the format is short answer and the prompt is quel est le premier jour de la semaine, you can totally write lundi without le. It is acceptable and often expected in student responses. But if you want it to be slightly more formal or full, le lundi also works. So your instinct is solid and you can write lundi here without any problem. Okay. Right, exercise number 2. I mean, these exercises are just so boring for me because, like, stuff that I learned when I was a kid. 把下面的句子按正确的逻辑顺序排列. So it's asking to reorder, mettez le dialogue en ordre. So change the, so pour mardi pour mardi le 14, that is correct. Le matin, s'il vous plaît. I don't get it. I wonder what the original. Oh, it's a dialogue. Oh, I see. Okay, A. It says, so number 1 is C. Bonjour, je voudrais un billet pour Marseille. 2. H. Le matin ou l'après-midi. B. Le matin, s'il vous plaît. G. Pour quand? Pour quand? Pour quand? For when? A. Pour mardi le 14. I. Vous avez un train? Oui, you have a train à 7h08. Il arrive à Marseille à 10h20. I. C'est bien? C'est combien? 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 C'est combien? J. What is it? 80 euros. F. Voilà votre billet. Monsieur dit voilà. So the problem is here, I think she's got the wrong answer for the last 2 because she actually, so J, number 8 is J, which is 80 euros. So then the other person should say voilà. And then the final person says voilà votre billet, monsieur. All right, let's go to the last one. Il est 10 heures en italien, en italien, en italien, en italien, en italien. I don't know. I don't know if there's any tools that you could figure it out. En italien. What does it say? It says Italy, 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 Italy. Okay, actually in 4 votes.
En Italie.
Yeah, that's definitely is there's definitely a link here. En Italie, il y a un avion à 7 heures. Ils ont un train, ils ont un. Ils ont un train à 10 heures. Ils ont 3 amis chez eux. Vous avez 2 avions pour Barcelone ce soir. Barcelone ce soir. Il arrive à Avignon il arriva. I think il arriva is also connected. Uh, there. So I don't see any point in like reproducing this entire page with just like me doing the writing when I can just fix hers. Oh, you didn't see that. I was just looking at the rest of these. So I feel like probably il est is correct. 10 heures en Italie. En Italie. And then also il y a is one. And she put this thing here. I think this is wrong. Ils ont un train. Ils ont un train. And here, il arriva. Il arrive à. Il arriva. I think it should be il arriva. Maybe we could check that. Il arriva.
Qu'est-il arrivé à Baby Jane?
Le travail exige qu'il arrive à 8h30
Arriva.
chaque jour.
Definitely arriva. Mhm. So that's a lot for the challenge. And there we go. Thank you for joining me in today's challenge, and we'll talk to you later.